Here's a look at some of the materials that I recommend for the figure sketching with color class. And I broke it up into 5 categories. So first we'll talk about trays. Next we'll talk about colors, then brushes, paper, and finally the extras like pencils and accessories. And here's a look at the trays that I use. On the left is a sketching tray. So this is a smaller portable tray, and I got this at Daiso, which is a Japanese dollar store. And the tray on the right is a bigger studio tray. Now I like this tray a lot. It's big, it's sturdy, has a lot of space for colors and a lot of space for the palette. So I highly recommend this big studio tray. And this one is made by Alvin. Here's a look at the colors that I like to use. Now you may also notice that there are tube colors. A lot of watercolor kits come in these little cakes, these little color cubes that are they're kind of stuck in the tray. So I don't recommend cakes at all. In fact, it can be quite frustrating, especially when you're sketching from the model, which we'll be doing in class. So definitely invest in color tubes instead of the cakes and cubes. Now, as far as individual colors go, what you see here is what is known as a full palette. So this is the full range of colors that I like to use. Now, obviously, we won't be starting with a full palette. We're going to work our way up. And this palette is basically my take on the Impressionist palette, which is a warm and cool of each primary. So, for example, I start out with warm and cool earth tones. I have warm and cool red. I have warm and cool yellow. And I have warm and cool blue. And then I just added 2 secondary colors, a cadmium orange and a green, in this case, phthalo green. Now the last tube, the white gouache, we won't be using white gouache too much in the class, but later when we get to more advanced techniques, white gouache will be great for doing more opaque and dry brushing techniques. It's a lot of fun to work with in watercolor. So if you're on a budget or if you're just starting out, I recommend just getting one burnt umber and an ultramarine blue. And this is a great starter set because it gives you one warm and one cool, and you can get a lot of mileage out of this limited palette. And the 2 brand names I like to use are M. Graham and Winsor Newton. Okay, and the brushes I like to use are all white sable. White sable I find is the best for watercolor. And I prefer to use flats. So I go anywhere from a big 1 inch to 3/4 and then 1/2 inch. Then I also use 2 rounds for finer details and just to get a variation in look. A number 8, a number 4. So any mid-size round or any big flat will be great. And as far as brands, I recommend Robert Simmons or Silverbrush. Okay, next is the papers. So I like to sketch using a big paper block, a 9 by 12 inch block, and cold press is pretty good, as cold press is the bumpy one. And definitely you want to get heavy weight, so 120 pound or more. The ones I use are 140 pounds. And as far as brands go, obviously Arches is the most well-known. It's the best brand. And I also like a Fluid brand. You can get it at most art stores. And also, I really enjoy sketching in moleskins. Moleskin makes a wonderful watercolor sketchbook, and the 2 sizes that I like here, the pocket size and the medium size. So definitely get one of each. Get the block for in class and the moleskin for your sketching and homeworks. And finally, the pencils and extras. So we'll be doing a lot of drawing in the class, and I like to begin my color sketch with a drawing. So the pencils I like to start with are Prismacolor pencils. So get a red or an orange. Any warm color should work well. Then I like to also sketch with graphite, and I prefer mechanicals because you don't have to sharpen a mechanical pencil, obviously. Mars Eraser is great for erasing Prismacolor. And then here on the bottom, these are the accessories that I think work great, and I have to credit my painting teacher, Nathan Fowkes, for introducing me to this set. So first there's a spray bottle. So any small spray bottle you can get and just reuse it for watercolor. And the bath towel is a must-have. This replaces paper towels, and it's much, much better for watercolor use. And then you want to get a water container, so whatever sturdy water container you can find. And finally, some masking tape to do some clean edge paintings and studies. Okay, that's it for the materials. If you'd like more information on the color class that's happening in Los Angeles, please visit the school's website, and the URLs and links will be provided below, as well as a list of the materials. So if you already signed up for the class, you definitely want to take this list with you to the art store. So that's it for today, and I hope to see you on the first day of class.